Welcome to The Point with Neil Stanley. This is episode 2 where we're going to talk about driving down cost of funds. The key thing about driving down cost of funds is not driving away the deposits, and that's where the power of Core CD comes in. We're going to talk today about the new and renewed Core CD client results, your limited edition and companion pricing, how your UBPR reports are showing how you're stacking up against peer group, and today we are aggregating now UBPR reports for our client base and sharing that with you. We're also going to be looking all the way through with performance enhancement opportunities and helping you understand how to set up a consultative discussion with me on your calendar in a time that works for you. So these are all things we want to cover today. To get us started, we're going to talk about where we're getting this data that we're going to show that's aggregated. The new and renewed results are coming right off of the analysis that you're putting together, sending to us on a monthly basis, and we're then producing the new and renewed report. You can see here in the red arrows where we're taking data for average rate and the spread to FHLB. Those pieces of information are then going into an analysis each month as to what you as our clients are achieving. So new and renewed time deposits for June, the average rate was 0.50 for all new and renewed certificates. That was 3 basis points below FHLB. The lowest cost we had for any of our clients was 11 basis points back in June. 25% of you were below 31 basis points. Half of you were at 51 or less. 3/4 of you were at 61 or less. And the highest new and renewed that was posted was 97 basis points. Now looking at July, where we have initial data coming in, shows that the average rate on new and renewed certificates is 0.42%. with the other rates being shown here as the distribution of where you're at with current performance. We also think it's important that you understand where you're at with limited edition savings and companion pricing against our client base, with the average today at 0.67 for limited edition and companion at 0.65. Now, the 25th percentile is at 40 basis points for limited edition and 48 basis points for companion, and half of you, the median, is at 0.6 and 0.55. I would simply suggest in this broadcast that anyone over the median might consider looking at that to continue ratcheting down that process. I've been changing several rates recently. There's certainly there's a tension between getting that rate low enough that your cost of funds is low, but high enough that you're giving your team something positive to talk about. We would never want you to bring it below your new and renewed certificate levels, but this way you've got a good idea as to what your levels are stacked up to our competition or our other client banks. So now we're going to show you the UBPR reports. When we pull these reports and deliver them, if you haven't already received an email from us, you will be getting one soon that shows that that shows where you're at with your UBPR for June of 2020. This is going to show on the screen here. I'm showing the PDF page 30 of your report, and they refer to it as section or page 12 of the UBPR. It's the 1/4 annualized income analysis. I've highlighted several sections of this for your benefit: interest expense, interest income, margin, yield on loans, total interest-bearing deposits, and time deposits, which of course are our focal point here at the Core Point. I'm very proud of this particular client. You can see that if you go back and it reports the bank, the peer group, and the percentile that this bank is in relative to the peer group. The peer group is the trimmed average. Look back a year ago, this particular financial institution had a cost of time deposits on their portfolio was 211. The peer group was 186, putting them in the 69th percentile. If you look forward, you can see they've made improvement, and they've driven down their cost to 142 compared to peer of 167. They're now in the 23rd percentile. After doing this report for all of you, it occurred to me that maybe we should collect this information and look at it on a consolidated basis. So that same data that we looked at for time deposits has been put into the spreadsheet. And when we look at it, we've ranked it with the ones that have the highest level of cost relative to the peer group at the top. And certainly there are a few of those, but there are so many more that have lower costs. And even of those that had a higher cost, you can see progress as they've moved over the last 12 months. What we find now is that our peer group is 158. The core CD group is 158 compared to the average peer of 166, putting us as a group in the 41st percentile. And it's 8 basis points below peer when you look across the portfolio of all core CD clients. Now, what's interesting to do is go back each quarter and see how we were stacking up to peer. And what we find is that a year ago we were 8 basis points over, then 5, then peer, then 3 below, then 8 below. And the cumulative impact of this, going from 8 over to 8 under, 16 basis points of impact for you. That's your progress, your success that you are achieving as you're driving down your costs. There are many success stories in this data set. The other thing we wanted to do then was to dollarize this. So we brought in, as we looked at the difference between the spread this quarter over the last year, and we looked at those spread differentials to peer. Then we brought in the dollars that were applicable for each of you as clients, and then we showed how it compared. In other words, if a negative number here, like as I'm currently highlighting the 503, what that's saying is that this bank with $167 million worth of CDs is spending $503,000 less than peer on an annualized basis. Now, if you go back a year ago, they were $453,000 less. So they've made progress over that time frame. When you add up all of these clients together, you go from 5 million over to 3.2 million under on $5.3 billion. That's a differential of $8.2 million on an annualized basis. Very proud of what you're accomplishing with the systems, the process, and the products of Core CD as you're applying it to your own unique situations there in your financial institution. So what we want to do here then is simply wrap up by pointing out that you can always set up an appointment on a free time on my calendar by using this link. I'm happy to meet with you or your team to go over results and look for opportunities in your situation given your objectives. So we've covered the topics for today. I hope you've had some key takeaways in terms of understanding that the new and renewed interest rates for time deposits for our clients at 42 basis points is very impressive. Bravo, congratulations to you all for making those numbers. Continue to ratchet down your limited edition savings and companion, being mindful of where the median is and where your local new and renewed pricing is, and also, of course, what your deposit volume is, what your needs are. So as you think about this, know where you're at relative to peer in terms of UBPR, and know where you're at relative to our other Core CD clients. 8 basis points less than peers as of today, and an improvement of 16 basis points over the past year. Always interested in setting up time with you to meet, to go over your results, to look for performance enhancement opportunities. It is our pleasure here at the CorePoint to serve you, to serve such a wonderful group of financial institutions. So I will sign off today until we meet again at a next episode of To The Point.